Hello everyone, welcome to my The Way Home official channel. I hope everyone is having a great day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Time Traveling The Way Home's first season provided answers to some of our most pressing questions, including what became of Jacob and Colton. However, that left us with a few more threads to work through. Was Kat present when Colton passed away, for instance? And did he acknowledge his daughter as an adult? What does Jacob's experience of time travel actually mean? Marley Reed, Alexandra Clark, and Heather Conkey, executive producers, address all of your concerns over Season 1 and drop hints about what's coming up next. When Colton appeared to recognize Kat as he passed away, did he actually see his daughter? Or was it just a case of someone thinking they saw a loved one in their final moments? Alexandra Clark, we're never going to know. Marley Reed, for now, we're taking that one to the grave. Heather Conkey, there's no doubt we'll figure it out. Since we only had 10 hours, I believe we made the most of it. Nevertheless, it will work out in a way that benefits future episodes and seasons. My husband remarks, I can't believe you crammed so much into 42 minutes. Every week when we watch. This is absurd, since they actually move. We initially believed that having only 42 minutes to tell a show was a curse, because Netflix shows may run for as long as you want or be 44 minutes long. However, it ended up being a blessing because it forced us to distill our story down to the most important beats. And I believe that's why, without accounting for all the emotional highs and lows, the audience simply feels like they're being dragged through a marathon every week. Did you always know, when you were designing the season, that you wanted grown-up Kat to be the woman at the funeral and to spend so much time with her father so close to his passing? Reed, you're right. Clark, our first season's lesson, and the show's lesson, in my opinion, is that you might not be able to go back in time. The past is unchangeable. It is stipulated in the rules. You have an additional 5 minutes, but what happened will always happen. And how did Kat spend those extra 5 minutes walking her younger brother home? She got to say everything you would think you would want to say, knowing that you might not see the person the next day, including how much your sister loves you. Obviously, we gave her a little bit longer than 5 minutes to spend with Colton, but once more, it was the gift of allowing her to tell him about his grandfathership and how his passing had affected her family in her own unique way. On the other hand, it also gave her the opportunity to hear from him about his feelings regarding this disappearance and what he was unable or unwilling to tell her when he was a teenager, but is unintentionally sharing with his adult daughter. I believe that's how home is, because Colton does mention this in one of the grieving support group meetings. Speak with those you care about. Inform them of everything. We definitely intended for that to be the takeaway from our show. Don't hide anything. Don't hold anything inside. Though Kat is getting those 5 minutes from this miraculous pond, you don't have to wait an additional 5 minutes to talk to your family, since family is family forever. You have just spoken with them. Reed, on the other hand, the thought that not only can they not alter history, but that each time they return, they have become a part of it, is the reason Heather was hinting at the possibility that time travel begins to feel like a curse. It begins to feel like a curse that they were a part of the horrible things that happened when bad things happen. Will the story continue where you left off, or will there be a time jump to the present? Conkey, both yes and no to that. We do resume where we left off, but we have to move swiftly because of the schedule for filming. We began filming at the end of July and continued through August, wrapping up in November. Thus, the entire landscape has altered. Clark, eventually. We kind of set up that the pond is kind of going a little nutty in episodes 9 and 10, which is another very interesting part of the pond. Though it may not always be the same season, jumping into the pond always occurs at roughly the same time of day. At least it has been somewhat of a reliable indicator. Then in episode 9, we turn that on its head when Kat sneaks out of the home at first light to try to stop her dad's accident. When she returns, it is completely dark outside. The other enjoyable thing about the pond is that, while we do need to adhere to a type of chronological timetable in the present, we are not required to break those rules when doing the pond portion of things. The pond obviously has its own regulations, but changing seasons and times is not one of them. Read, we further prepare for the pond to ice over. Thus, we would have our girls waiting around if we didn't go forward in time. Although Kat's final sentence implies that we will soon meet Jacob, what can you tell us about his appearance, his past, and his age? Clark, we'll address every one of those inquiries. Read, we definitely have a fulfilling plan in place for it. When you were imagining Jacob as a child, was there anything you had in mind for the person he would be traveling through time? Clark, even at 8 years old, one of the things we really wanted to get across to Jacob is that he is a little gift to the world. He has an other perspective. Even the opening line of episode 1's 1999 introduction features a young Adele remarking, "Oh, Jacob, you have such an eye." She's examining his Polaroid pictures. Naturally, he responded, "Well, duh, I have too." He is an artist, though. He has a unique perspective on the world and is sensitive to things that others may not be. Nobody else in the family has ever heard of or seen the dog, let alone the concept of it. That is specific to Jacob. Naturally, they'd brush it off. However, Jacob has a keen sense of beauty and the outside world. Even back when we were casting him, we thought of him as a little ethereal man. With his large eyes and tiny frame, Remy was everything we could have hoped for and more. He is a unique, enchanting boy who seems almost too good for this world. He's too unique. We'll carry it over into season 2, delving into that facet of him and acknowledging that, indeed, he is a gift. Adult Nick mentioned that Alice was familiar, and I enjoy Elliot and Nick's bond. Outside of the laundry women, Elliot has a person named Nick in his life. Will that continue, particularly with Elliot attempting to discover his identity as a free man? Clark, that's something we can say with certainty, yes. Because he's entertaining, Nick is a really great character to be around in both eras, but especially as an adult. He is not delusional. He takes action. He's a world-traveled, sporty, cool person who is somewhat Elliot's opposite. They are best friends despite this. That tells a lot about Nick and Elliot as well. I believe that, especially as they become older, they are still somewhat in wonder of each other's life. Kerry was a blast to work with on set and was a natural fit for the part. He turned into Nick the teenager. It was amazing to watch Kerry enter, someone Heather and I are familiar with from Heartland. Suddenly, Caleb vanished, and grown-up Nick was there. He prepared by watching Sam Braun's shows and memorizing the smile and other facial expressions. Regarding season 2, what more is there to say? Conky. All the way through, we'll still be left with unanswered questions about, say, who sent the letter. There will always be unanswered questions that people want to know the answers to. That's one of the things, in my opinion, that makes the show so unique. People say, that's what happened. Who sent the letter was that. Naturally, they all had theories throughout, just like they do about everything else. By whom was it sent? Was that Rita? Was Elliot the one? Brady, was that right? Was anyone there? No one, I believe, anticipated Alice. Clark. Without a doubt, we learn additional details about the Landry family, possibly even going back several generations this time. Read. We definitely want to keep telling the story of this family across many eras, which is something that worked so well in season 1 and requires information from one era to solve the mystery or reveal a secret from another. Clark. The present and possibly the future are always influenced by the past. There is no doubt that you can rely on that. And that pond will remain that pond, throwing them for a loop, a curveball, and everything else, but it has a plan in the end. Read. With the family having lived there for several centuries, there are plenty of tales left to share. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.